One weekend in 2002, I was only 5 years old when my parents took me along to a UGC cinema, and they asked me what I wanted to see. Monsters Inc. was still out by then, and I really wanted to see it again, but no, my parents said, you have to pick something you haven't seen before. I couldn't make my mind up, so I sat on top of one of the staircases where there was an old TV mounted in the corner, showing a bunch of trailers for the movies that were out at the time. There was Monsters Inc., a re-release of E.T., and an animated movie called Ice Age, and I went, yeah, that's what I want to see. I guess the rest is history. Ice Age was the first film released by Blue Sky Studios, and tells a fairly simple story that's pretty much 3 prehistoric creatures and a baby. It performed well and established Blue Sky Studios as a popular animation house for much of the early 2000s and 2010s, sitting alongside the likes of Pixar, DreamWorks, and so on. When I saw Ice Age for the first time, I definitely liked it, and it was actually one of my first ever DVDs, but we're here, of course, to talk about the VHS. Unlike the first couple episodes though, this is a rental VHS, which means this is the copy that you would have picked up from your local Blockbuster back in the day. And in case you didn't already know, rental tapes have bigger cases, and the ones you actually bought had smaller cases. I'm not sure why exactly, but my best guess is that maybe they wanted the rental copies to stand out more, since it was a really big market back then. Anyway, we better get stuck into it. This tape was actually a request from a user called Clank Zoka, so congratulations Clank, you get dibs on the first ever request. Right from the start this time, there's something extremely important to talk about. Yeah, remember that? For some reason a lot of tapes have this weird phone sound at the start, which I did kind of like back then, but I could just never figure out what it meant. When I'd ask my mum, she'd always tell me it was the tape starting up, but something tells me she might have been making that up. I looked into it anyway, and turns out the phone sound was used for information encoding in the mass production of tapes, which made it easier to duplicate them from the master copies. Actually, I think I like my mother's explanation better. Still, tangent aside, this tape was distributed by 20th Century Fox Home Entertainment, with the classic fanfare that everyone probably recognises. This is one of those logo sequences that was always kind of fun to watch back then, as it definitely puts you in the movie mood. We're then thrown straight into an advert for cheese double dippers from the Laughing Cow, which is definitely strange.
It's so bad. The cow, she say, a double, do the double dip. If you wanna be hip, don't be flip, you gotta do the double dip.
Yeah. It always felt like there were tons of these cheese dipper things growing up, and it was hard to find a kid who didn't have something like this in their lunchbox. I don't really remember us eating these ones growing up, but I did kind of like these ads just for that laughing bit at the end.
Only from the Laughing Cow.
Next, there's a trailer for Thunderpants, featuring a very young Rupert Grint in a story that looks like it's some kind of adventure about a kid going into space, when really it's all about the kid farting so hard he destroys anything in a 5-mile radius.
Blow you away.
I think I've said enough.
Starring Rupert Grint from Harry Potter.
You're going to be a spaceman.
And introducing Bruce Cook as Patrick Smash.
We're Patrick and Irwin, the team.
Get ready to reach for the stars as 2 best friends take one giant leap. We have liftoff! Thunderpants.
Genius.
Gotta love that old free-served web address at the end, though. Then we get another advert for Milky Way, a tasty little chocolate bar that I'm still guilty of munching on now and then.
Sorry, I'm full up. There you go. Jack's mum says you don't get full up with the Milky Way.
Back in the early 2000s, they tried pushing this bizarre floating alien mascot character called ZG, short for Zero Gravity, but I don't really think he caught on all that well, and I always remember wondering why he disappeared after such a short time. Just consider him the great Gazoo of Milky Way, I guess. Another trailer now for the Crocodile Hunter Collision Course, a film starring the late Steve Irwin in his very own fictional action movie, which is a very strange idea looking back on it, but even so, it's kind of fun to see him interacting with the MGM lion and messing around with the logo.
But there's one big problem. It's you, mate. He's too tame. Come on, get out of there, you little devil. Crikey! Now that's more like it.
Rest in peace, Steve. You'll definitely always have one of the best teaser trailers. Our next trailer is for Christmas Carol the movie, one of the many adaptations of the classic Charles Dickens story, only this time in traditionally animated form. It definitely looks like one of those obscure cartoons of the time to me, and I love how anachronistic it gets with the early 2000s pop soundtrack being played over a story set in the 1800s. That just takes me back.
You'll have to see the film to find out the rest.
Bug.
Cookie Crisp is the next advert, and these ads were on all the time when I was a kid.
They look like chocolate chip cookies, taste like them too, but it's a breakfast cereal!
It features this animated wolf character in pretty much a roadrunner role, always trying to get the cereal, only for those meddling kids to keep finding ways to stop him.
Oh, just missed that Cookie Crisp!
I just wish they'd cut him a break. But yeah, this was a very popular mascot back then, and I think this ad might have even played before I saw Ice Age in the cinema, so no wonder it crops up again here.
Cookie Crisp! Next time it's mine!
The last trailer is for Like Mike, which is pretty much the definition of an early 2000s kids movie, about a boy from an orphanage finding an old pair of Michael Jordan sneakers that give him magic basketball powers. Sounds likely to me.
I guess this will be a bad time for me to ask for your autograph, huh?
The Knights have a new player, Calvin Cambridge. He's 4.5 feet tall.
Can I get your autograph?
I know.
I got dogs bigger than that in my house.
Actually, one notable thing about this movie is that it features a young Jesse Plemons, who would later go on to play the sociopathic character Todd in Breaking Bad. Maybe this is a prequel or something.
Jonathan Lipnicki. Brenda Song.
We'll be rooting for you.
Little Bow Wow. Like Mike.
Finally, our last ad before the film is a very strange one that I just find hard to explain.
Command for Munchsters.
What? I don't even understand what's going on here. It's like it starts off as one ad with this cartoon, but then it turns into some kind of fever dream with these nightmarish creations watching it on TV. I don't even remember Munchsters growing up. For me, it was all Dairyly Lunchables and stuff when it came to those school snack boxes, but apparently the Munchsters brand was briefly popular when it launched in 2002, but with ads like this, I'm pretty convinced it didn't make it out of 2003. In fact, I tried looking up other ads for this stuff, and they make even less sense than this one, being only about 10 seconds long with no rhyme or reason. It's disturbing. This ad definitely makes me mad, but not mad for Munchsters.
Command for Munchsters.
Thankfully, it's time for the movie now, but after that, there's one more treat. An exclusive animated short featuring Scrat, the mascot character of Ice Age. There's not too much to say since it's pretty much the usual Scrat formula. He finds a bunch of acorns, things go wrong, he ends up with nothing at the end. Well, nothing except a makeshift beret, anyway. I remember this being a feature on the DVD I'd watch a lot as well, just another one of those small bonuses. But that's it, the VHS of Ice Age. This is definitely one where all those ads were aimed squarely at kids of the time, since I can still remember things like the laughing cow, that weird Milky Way mascot, Cookie Crisp, but the less said about Munchsters, the better. Thanks for watching this video, and look out for more trailer reels coming soon. Is there a treasured VHS tape from your youth that you'd like me to cover? Got any fond memories? How big is your tape collection? Let me know in the comments, and please like and subscribe to the Back to the Past YouTube channel for more outdated content coming soon.